So the Jets took down the Commanders in their preseason opener. And watching this thing for the first 3 quarters, because I didn't watch the fourth quarter, it's pretty evident that the Jets have a ton of depth at a lot of positions. I mean, Braylon Allen, their backup running back behind Breece Hall, I don't know what the hell his parents were feeding him as a baby that made him grow into this 6'2", 245-pound monster. But I remember watching him during his true freshman season at Wisconsin. This dude was only 17 years old, starting at running back in the Big Ten Conference, remind you, which is, for those of y'all who don't watch college football like that, the Big Ten is the AFC North of college football. Really physical, being hard-nosed, tough up front. And if you're 17 years old, you're not even 18 yet, fresh out of high school, and you're starting and you're built like this, yeah, you're going to become a problem. And he was averaging 9 yards per pop nearly every time he got the ball in this game. I mean, this dude has to be a factor in the Jets offense this year. I already know how good Breece Hall is, but you would be doing yourself a major disservice if you're Nathaniel Hackett and you keep this monster just chained up on the sideline, because this is potentially Derrick Henry 2.0, but times 50 the athleticism. Could you imagine being a defensive back and you got Braylon Allen running at you? He hits 22 miles per hour and you got to tackle this? I mean, oh my goodness, this is an immediate headache if you have to make any kinds of head-up collision with Braylon Allen. He's one of those dudes that you can't even risk trying to tackle him up high. You got no choice but to go ahead and chop them knees, just take them legs out, because this is a monster. This brother is scary. Do you not see how Braylon Allen looks with his pads on? This is like the Incredible Hulk meets the NFL at running back. Oh my goodness. I was like, who the hell is this number 0 running back in? What the hell is this dude on? Is he on steroids? Like, the NFL might just have to drug test Braylon Allen, because something about him just doesn't seem human. I mean, how can you be this big running this damn fast? Now, not only is New York loaded at running back, but at wide receiver, they got more depth at that position than what I initially thought. Jason Brownlee, he called a touchdown on Emmanuel Forbes. We're going to get into him shortly. But Jason Brownlee was a undrafted rookie free agent last year, and he was balling out throughout training camp for New York. They were always talking about him on Hard Knocks, and I was really disappointed that we didn't really see too much of him once the regular season came around. Well, he could have a bigger role in this offense. He could potentially be their third, fourth best wide receiver in the rotation this year. Malachi Corley was a mid-round selection out of Western Kentucky. He made a couple of impressive plays. The thing with Malachi Corley is that I don't see him as a really good route runner. To me, he's more of a guy that makes a lot of his living of what he does after the catch, similar to Deebo Samuel, which was a common comp that many draft analysts and experts have for Malachi Corley. But to me, he doesn't have the explosiveness that Deebo has. He's not the athlete that Deebo is, but he made some impressive plays in this game. He's competing to be their starting slot receiver. And then you had a UFL guy in Brandon Smith who had a couple of big catches as well. He led the team in receiving yards. But what was really impressive about the Jets' depth is the talent that they have on the defensive line. You had a rookie named Leonard Taylor who went undrafted. I'm really familiar with this dude because I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. And you talk about one of the biggest disappointments in Miami recruiting history. Leonard Taylor was highly touted coming out of high school, sick athleticism, great size for a D lineman, and he never was really able to put it all together. Well, in this game, he was wreaking havoc on the Commanders' offensive line, man. I mean, he had one sack when he just absolutely blew it up, blew past everybody, immediately hit the quarterback. They also got Will McDonald, who was a first-round pick. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago out of Iowa State, but he had a couple of impressive reps as well. The Jets have tons of depth. And after watching their preseason opener against Washington, I understand why so many people believe they have a top 10 roster. They don't have a top 10 roster from a talent standpoint, but from a talent and depth standpoint, they're more deeper at way more positions than what the majority of teams in the league are. There's not going to be teams that are 3 deep at running back, 4 or 5 deep at receiver, and also deep on the defensive line, which also helps out New York's defense, because a key to being able to not get worn out throughout the NFL game is that you want to rotate guys in. You want to have multiple guys who can come in and be good situational players. Rather, if they're good against the run and you bring them in on 3rd and short or 4th and short plays when you need some run stoppers in there, or if you need good situational pass rushers, they got a good blend of depth at either or.